Also, new information on the child sex abuse scandal rocking Syracuse University now. The school firing longtime basketball assistant coach Bernie Fine amid some new allegations. On the same day, ESPN released an audio recording of one accuser talking to Fine's wife back in 2002 that's raising some questions as well. Doug Burns is a former federal prosecutor, and Joel Mann is a defense attorney. And gentlemen, let's start with the tape, because that is some of the news over the weekend. I warn our audience, a little tough to hear, but we have the verbatim on the screen. So let's go ahead and play that recording.
Do you think I'm the only one that he's ever done that to?
No. I think that there might have been others, but it was dear true. There was something about you.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I wonder why I was like the worst one.
I don't know. I said to him, Bobby and I talked, and I know some things about you that if you keep pushing are going to be let out.
Yeah.
Didn't even flinch.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He says, yeah, no, let him go ahead. Sure, let him go right ahead.
He doesn't think he can be charged.
He thinks that, I think he thinks he's above the law.
I think he thinks he's above the law. All right, Doug, that is the wife of the man accused of sexually abusing these boys. And apparently she's admitting on this recording that she thinks something obviously went on. But you say you're concerned about even using this tape in court. Why is that?
Well, first of all, not to use big SAT words, that's basically a vicarious admission. In other words, it's not Bernard Fine saying I did something wrong. It's somebody else referring to whether or not he did something wrong. And I'd like to hear what Joel thinks about whether or not that would be admissible in court. I'm not so sure it is. However, having said that real quickly, investigators at this stage are not necessarily concerned so much with admissibility of things in court. They want to figure out the truth. And this tape goes a long, long way towards helping them do that.
Joel, permission granted to use big SAT words if you so need to on this. What do you think? Does this tape make it into court?
Well, I think the first thing that we need to think about is what kind of court case this is going to be. Originally, we were thinking about statute of limitations with a state case and the issues involving Bobby Davis. But now that the federal, looks like the feds have gotten involved, we're not sure what's going on. So we need to frame it in the right area. And if it's a case involving Bobby Davis and that case, there may be some way that comes in. As a defense attorney, I would fight tooth and nail to keep that out because I don't think it's relevant. I think, I appreciate Doug's admission that that should not come in.
Joel,
it would be overly prejudicial.
Right.
Joel, further, though, there's also some news about the man on the phone call, again, the alleged, he's the alleged victim in the case, and the wife. Apparently, according to, again, the alleged victim, he had a relationship with Bernie Fine's wife of a sexual nature when he was 18 years old. I mean, how does that even figure in the case, if at all?
Well, if I was a prosecutor, this would not be a case that I would want to prosecute. I think the cast of characters involved in this case is mind-blowing. I mean, it's just a full circle of different people being involved in different things. We have the Tomaselli case, or allegation, where he is accusing Fine of doing these things, and his own father is saying that didn't happen. We have Lori Fine being involved in a sexual relationship with Bobby Davis. I mean, as a prosecutor, I would be flabbergasted that this would come. So
you can tell you're almost speechless just talking about it right now. Doug, that was good to bring up Zach Tomaselli.
Right.
Joel, to bring up Zach Tomaselli. He's 23 years old. He's actually facing charges himself of sexually abusing a young boy. His father, the father of this 23-year-old, says he was never even around the coach. I mean, and his father says there's no way that this is true. So can you bring in Zach Tomaselli into this case at all?
Look, I thought it was very interesting and revealing when his own father came right out and said flat out he's lying. But I would default back to this. I mean, there are three separate, people making allegations. So from an investigative standpoint, I look at that. Syracuse University fired him. And frankly, there must be something to that action that they took. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like every other investigation. They got to really look closely, interview everybody, make the credibility determinations that they should make. And then quickly on Tomaselli, just because he may have baggage doesn't automatically rule him out as a viable witness.
Joel, quick final comment on this. Just real quick, the Syracuse University chancellor issued a statement over the weekend talking about the firing of this man late last night. And this is just a portion of it. She says, "We do not tolerate abuse. If anything good comes out of this tragedy, it will be that this basic principle is reinforced." So again, when you look at who's out there and who's basically saying this guy's guilty without even a trial, how do you fight that when he's already been fired and someone's already admitting a tragedy happened?
Well, I think we first should put all the pitchforks and fire away and wait for the investigation to be completed. Just because he was fired doesn't make him guilty of anything. Obviously, the school has its own reasons to do what it needs to do, and I think they have a public motivation as to getting rid of Fine and not dealing with this issue any further. But I think it should be clear that in 2005 an investigation was done by Syracuse and they found nothing. And what's interesting actually is in 2005 Bobby Davis did not release this tape recording to Syracuse when they were doing that investigation then. So like I said, the cast of characters involved I think are just mind-blowing.
A lot of questions still remain. Doug and Joel, thank you so much for your expertise today.
Thank you,
Jenna.